Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another beautiful session of meditation. I hope you all had a beautiful Wednesday and that all of you are ready to meditate with us today. My name is Kalavati. Some of you already know me. I'm joining you from Pittsburgh, and I'm really happy to be here with all of you today. This program is the last online program of this month. Next week, on Wednesday at the same time, we are meeting at the Cranberry Library. So the session is not going to be online next Wednesday, but we are going to meet in person at the Cranberry Library and then continue again online for the next 3 weeks. And the programs for the other libraries like Swickley Library and Mount Lebanon stay the same. So this course is incremental, and while we want to focus on our progress, we also want to accommodate everyone. And if there are people who have not had the chance to join the previous sessions, then we made all the arrangements to bring them up to speed. So if you're here for the first time, please do let us know about it in the chat box. Send us a message in the chat box, and we will assign you to a breakout room with Karan, who is our Sahaja Yoga instructor. So today we are going to talk about how beautifully we are made within, and we've got with us Jeremy today. Hi, Jeremy. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Good to have you with us, Jeremy.
Well, it's always fun to do online meditations.
I know. So, Jeremy, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what does Sahaja Yoga mean to you, and how have you decided to teach it to others as well?
So I've been meditating for quite a while. I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga. My mom and my brother and sister all we she started before we were born, so I kind of got a head start maybe on living and learning how to meditate as part of a, what do you say, a lifestyle. Um, really trying to grow and have the inner peace and joy. Um, yeah, and I've just been, continually meditating, and it really helps bring the peace and the happiness with it. It's like the short, easy answer for me.
That's great. That's it. That's the essence of what Sage Yoga is, right? All right. So I guess I'm gonna meet you guys at the end of the session. I will let you shake hands with Jeremy and have a beautiful meditation, everyone.
All right, so for everyone, I would assume if you haven't already, there's a breakout room in case this is your first meeting. So in the chat, there was a specific thing to type if you wanted to um, get a good introduction by Quran of Sahaja meditation. Today, one of the things I kind of wanted to go over, the prompt was about, the joy and love and happiness for ourselves. That's how I see, what the prompt was. Is I wanted to talk a little bit about the left and the right side, right? So as you can see on the screen, there's the chakra chart kind of in the middle. It's a very simplified version of it, but it's enough for this discussion before we meditate. So when we talk about the channels and we talk about meditating, we're being in the central channel, in the present. And that's really where we can get rid of all the thoughts and experience, that state of being in meditation. But we have the left and the right side. The left is the past, but it's also joy, which is, I think, a very important piece of it. And it's emotions and feelings and desires. Um, just like anything, there's very good desires, right? There's happiness, there's joy, but we can also, when we talk about emotions, there's depression or anxiety. That can, well, anxiety can be on the right side a little bit, but there's also things that we need to look out for. And then on the right side, it is not the past like the left, but the future. And we talk about action or activity. Um, that doesn't mean there's some just talking about the body, because it's also the mental action and activity. I work as a programmer, so I use a lot of my right side thinking, right? And sometimes people think that the left side is more of this mental piece, but it is on both. And that the left side also is the lethargy, and that the, not doing anything. But the way we can think of it in the positivity part is that the right side is also how we can express ourselves happy and joyfully, right? It's not just feeling the happiness and joy in ourselves, but then expressing that to others, showing others that we love them, that we care for them, that we, are also happy and joyful, and trying to spread that happiness and joy. That's using the right side, right? And it's also, as you can see, our attention. So if our attention is moving around a lot, if we're thinking, bouncing between many different things, that would be, also overactivity of the right side. Usually when we talk about the right side, it's because we're maybe being too right-sided and we have to cool it off. Or when we talk about the left side, we are too left-sided and we have to kind of warm up and become more active and try and balance in the middle. And when we're in the middle and balanced, then we are um, mentally, physically, spiritually kind of growing. And we are also enjoying more because we are in the present and we don't have all the extra thoughts or extra emotions that are pulling us this way or that way. Um, and then also the evolution in the spiritual growth. So when we're meditating, we can feel our subtle system, um, and we can feel it, and we can grow deeper in understanding our subtle system. Right? When we start meditating, we can, and we have our hands out on our lap, we can feel our subtle system when we're in that state of meditation without thoughts. It's not easy and it's not always instantaneous, but it's like any skill, we can practice and get there. And then you can understand your subtle system, understand the three channels, and you can balance yourself, and you will notice from a day-to-day perspective that it improves your happiness, your joy, your daily life is the simplest way for me to describe it. But it's not something that I can just talk to you about. We have to experience it. So of course we're gonna meditate. Right? We're gonna meditate on the three channels. We're gonna go over how to clear the three channels. Sorry. And then we'll also listen to a talk. And after the talk of Sri Mataji, we'll also meditate a little more, but more of a quiet meditation, and then also have some music. So we can start by, when we meditate, we want to relax. We want to be comfortable. I'm sitting in a chair because that is the most relaxing and comfortable position for me. I take my glasses off because it is also much more enjoyable. And we want to close our eyes and put our hand just on our lap. And we first want to bring our attention inside. As I said earlier, it's not always easy to get into the state of meditation, but let's try and bring ourselves inside, into our heart, into where our spirit is, the center of our being. We want to put our attention there, away from any of the thoughts, mental activity. If it helps, we can put our right hand on our heart, on the left side of our chest, to help us bring our attention into that spot. And with our eyes closed, we can feel our attention going there to our heart, our spirit. Letting go of any of the thoughts. Hopefully this helps calm our mind down a little bit. And what we can do is, I'm sure in the previous classes we've went through this, but if we forgot, we can raise our motherly energy, the Kundalini, up, and we can do the protection. Our left hand, it goes around with our right hand, our action and our desire, the left and the right side, raising the Kundalini up and trying to tie the Kundalini and our attention at the top of our head. And we do that 3 times. First, 1 knot. Second, 2 times. And third, raise it up and we tie 3 times. And then we give the protection, the bandhan, by going around our whole body, our whole energy centers, and 7 times, 1 for each, to give protection. So that while we meditate, we don't let any outside distractions disturb us. And we can stay more in the present, more in meditation. So let's have both of our hands on our lap. And you just should be relaxed and just breathing calmly. Keeping the attention at the top of the head, above all the thoughts, above any distractions. Just letting our attention relax and be still. If we feel our attention slipping away, we can use the palm of our right hand. We can just massage the top of the head, just trying to keep our attention at the top of the central channel. Right? The left and the right side stop in the brain, but the central goes above. We want our attention above all the thoughts in the brain. The thoughts are just from the left or the right side, and we want to be moving above and past them. And then we raise our hand a few inches off the top of our head and put our attention there where our hand is. As if we're holding our attention there with our hand, even though it's open. And then we can put our right hand back down on our lap, palm facing up, but we want to try and keep our attention there, above any thoughts, any distractions. And so let's first clear our right side, right channel, the channel of the action of the future, of all the extra mental thoughts. And to do that, we raise our left hand, we bend it just at the elbow, have our palms still open and facing behind us. If you need to open your eyes to see and follow along, please do, and then you can close them and keep trying to meditate and feel the peace within. This is to clear out the right side, to let the heat and overactivity of the day get blown away. And we've all been busy from the day, either working or doing things around the house. And we first let go of all that excess activity and heat within ourselves. Let ourselves relax and bring ourselves back into a balance. And when we feel calmer and more relaxed, we can just put our left hand back down on our lap. Feel that if there's any heat getting blown away, just letting it go. We can put our hand back down and try and stay in the center. Some people maybe need to keep their hand up longer to clear the right side from being more active. It's just one technique for clearing the right side. And we have to be our own masters to know what we need to do for ourselves. Hopefully everyone is now done clearing the right side. When we put our hand like that, we're allowing the ether or the air to blow any of that extra heat, extra activity, imbalance in our right side away. We need to let it cool off. And then to clear the left side, maybe we haven't cleared the right side too much, and now we're just in the left side. We want to be balanced. but at the end of the day, we usually do both, just as kind of a general balancing of all the chakras and the two channels. Is to clear the left side, we put our right hand, and if we're sitting on the ground, we put it on the ground, or if we're sitting in a chair, we just let it hang down towards the earth. And we ask the earth to please take away, and even say, Mother Earth, please take away any of the imbalance in my left side. Please, Mother Earth, let me clear out my left side so that I may be in the center. Just let any of the imbalances from our left side just suck away, fall away into Mother Earth. It can go through our feet, it can go through our hand, but we just want to relax and let them flow away. We don't do anything. The Mother Kundalini energy it is doing all the action of clearing, as with the right side. So we just have to let it go. And when we're done clearing the left side, we can put our right hand back on our lap, palm facing up. And then to clear the central channel, we actually use both hands And it's almost like raising the energy, except we just have the two hands together. We don't need to go around them. And we raise both sides using both hands. And I always think of it, you're using your attention with your hands, the left and the right side. And you're raising the Kundalini and the sacrum bone, the motherly energy, up along the center. So you can use both hands and raise it up. And then we, with both hands, push the left and the right side down. And we can just then shake the hand off a little bit towards the ground to just let go of everything. And then we do that a few times. So we raise the center with our attention. We go just as fast as our attention allows it. And pushing the left and the right sides down. And we do that a few times. To feel the central channel clear. And then when we're done raising the central, we just put our hands also back in our lap. Try and keep our attention at the top of the head, above any of the thoughts. Just try and witness how we feel. Just to experience a state of meditation, of being thoughtless. And so we're going to listen to a talk by Sri Mataji, who is the founder of Sahaja meditation. We'll listen and hopefully be able to stay in that meditative state, that's being thoughtless and just trying to understand what she says. And we'll just watch the talk, and then after we'll just meditate in silence for a bit with some music.
Spirit, when it manifests, it also gives you a state which we call as collective consciousness. It's the state by which you become, again I say become, it's actualization, it is not just talking. You become conscious collectively, means you become conscious of another person's centers on your fingertips. You also become self-aware. You know about yourself, what centers are catching, where are we going. Like a person who becomes mentally upset, he doesn't know. Till he becomes mad, goes to lunatic asylum and dies, he does not know. But in Sahaja Yoga, immediately you can find out that there's something going wrong with your mental side. If a person gets into cancer, he might get into the state of galloping cancer, about to die, then he may discover that he has got cancer. But in Sahaja Yoga, if there's a little imbalance, immediately it shows on your fingertips. And if you know how to do it, how to correct it, then every problem is solved. So as I told you yesterday, yoga has double meaning. Yoga means union with the divine. That's one. And the second one is the expertise, the deftness, what we call in Sanskrit kaushalam. You must have the deftness, how to handle this all-pervading power that is flowing through us, how to understand ourselves, how to understand others. That's an important part of Sahaja Yoga. First of all, a little light is enlightened. You get the experience of the spirit to begin with. It's an actualization. But then you must make it grow. Christ has given beautiful parables explaining this, the sprouting of the seeds which were thrown on the rocks, some were thrown in the good soil, and some were neglected. We find that every day happening. Thousands come to my program, and then I find some of them are lost in the rocks. Some of them are wasted, but some of them become huge big trees to give shade, joy and support to others. We have to change this world. How are we going to change this world, this horrible world which is just on the precipice of destruction? The only way is that we have to change ourselves. That's the transformation just waiting to happen. It's nothing that I'm doing about it. I really tell you, I don't do anything. I don't do anything. I'm just waiting to get it. You just catch upon it and you get it. I may be just triggering it, but you can trigger it also. So one has to understand that you have to be honest to yourself. You have to be fair to yourself. You have to understand your value. You must know your worth, that you are a human being created out of small things like amoeba from carbon. And today you are sitting here as human beings. You must be something very special. And this special thing has to become that thing which will make you understand what you are. Only thing, you are not yet connected. Only thing is that you have not yet felt that divinity within. We are all potentially divine. We have to just feel that divinity within us. But as a result of that, you are such a powerful personality, power of love. We have never used power of love. We have only used the power of hatred so far. Power of love is much above power of hatred. It can engulf all hatred, can just suck in everything that is hatred. It's very simple. Very simple methods are to be put. Only you must have desire to get transformed. Now the third thing that happens with self-realization is that you get a state of peace, of bliss, and of joy. When the Kundalini rises above this Agya Chakra, you become thoughtlessly aware. It's called as Nirvichar Samadhi, thoughtlessly aware, where there is no thought in your mind. If you want, you can think. If you want, you can think. But if you don't want, you can be in that state where you don't think. Actually, it's maddening sometimes the way man is thinking morning till evening, yarns after yarns, useless things, a joyless pursuit. But when this thinking stops, you are above the thoughts. I would say, to give it a simile, that the waves of thought come and go away. Another thought comes and goes away. We are jumping on the cusp of the thought all the time. Supposing we can just get in the center of the thought, that is the present. If we could stop at the present moment, then we are not worried about the thoughts. Like the waves of water, if you are in the waves, you are frightened of that. But supposing you are in a boat, then you can see the waves and enjoy them. In the same way, what happens to you that you jump up to a higher state of existence through which you see the thoughts. If you want, you don't want to see, you need not see. Now the thoughts that you see also are very wide and deeper, where you get inspirations. That's why, as Dr. Warren has told you, that your creativity improves. You can become tremendously dynamic. Because your time is not wasted in wasteful thinking. You just know this is it. This is the exact. This is what we have. And that's how people get rid of many of their problems of mental tensions. There's no tension at all. You don't have any worries. You just see the thing like the witness. You become the witness of the whole drama. When you are in the drama, you think you are a part and parcel of the drama. Sometimes you weep with it and cry with it. But when the drama is over, you realize it was just a drama. I was not there. In the same way it happens to you, that you achieve a witness state. It happens to you. Even if you want to get involved, you cannot. You just cannot get it. That's how you can solve the problems better, because you are away from the problems. You can see what the problem is, but when you are in it, you are upset, full of tension, worries. And sometimes people get so upset with it that they commit suicide when they find no solution. But if you are away from it, then you can definitely solve the problem. Now this witness state has to grow within you gradually with little understanding and with little meditation.
So, as Shrimalaji said, we need to try being more in the witness state in our meditation. So, let's sit quietly for a minute or two and just try and see our attention and see the thoughts inside, if there are any, and just watch them come and go, let them go, as if the thoughts are just different shows on the television. You don't have to identify yourself with the thoughts. You have to see them from the outside for what they are. It can also help if we put our attention on our breathing, because it's just relaxed. And there are just pauses in our breath between the breathing in and the breathing out. We just want to try and see that peace, quiet, thoughtless, witnessing state of being in meditation. We practice just trying to prolong that state. We can even listen to some music while we meditate. Can maybe help with our attention. We just try and enjoy the music and just let the thoughts go. Let's think our motherly energy, our spirit, our kundalini, are allowing us to hopefully be able to experience a little bit of the meditation of thoughtlessness, of that state of inner peace, joy. And we can raise our kundalini as we did at the beginning, tying it at the top of our head. We raise it up once, one knot, and we do it a second time. With 2 knots. We do it a third time with 3 to try and establish our attention and our kundalini there, so that once we're done, we can hopefully stay in a more peaceful and meditative state until the next time we meditate. And then we also do the protection for each of the 7 energy centers. So back and forth 7 times, from left to right, over the head. And we can open our eyes if they were closed from meditating. Thank you for hopefully all meditating and experiencing thoughtlessness with me, the state of joy and meditation. So at home, I try and meditate 10 minutes twice a day. Obviously, it's not a stickler for things. You know, as I said during part of the meditation, we have to be our own masters. But try and aim for 10 minutes in the morning and the evening. Of course, similarly to what we did today, we sit on the floor of the chair, try and be comfortable, palms up on the lap, taking a few deep breaths, and we want to raise our kundalini like we just did and give bandhan. If we can do that, and maybe next week we can, when we're in the library, for all that are there, we can maybe talk about how our meditations went through the week. Okay, you know, were we able to get the time to meditate? I find that if you are more serious with your meditation, you find more time to meditate. And so I would, not homework, but I almost want to say challenge everyone to at least meditate once a day and see how that is next week when we have the meeting. You want to, of course, while meditating, try and settle the attention at the top of the head. And some phrases that you can see here on the slide is not this thought, I forgive myself, I forgive everyone. Of course, breathing or putting your attention on your breath can also help. Hopefully you can be peaceful and feeling the cool breeze in your hands and enjoy the meditation. For next week, We're going to try something called foot soaking. It says dishpan. I actually use more of like a small rinse bucket. It's a little plastic thing. You fill it with water. We also use salt when we're foot soaking. That helps to pull the heat or imbalances out and into the water. It's using, earlier we talked about for like clearing the right side, we talked about how it is the heat usually, and we use the air or the ether to clear it out. So, and with the left side of the ground, with foot soak, we're using the salt and water. We also put it in the water, so when we're foot soaking, it kind of helps absorb that imbalances. And when we're foot soaking, we just take our socks off, roll our pants up, try and meditate just like normal. If you have a paper towels or a cloth towel, if you have a cloth towel, I would say preferably one that you don't really use often is like a hand towel or a towel for cleaning stuff. And we also have a little rinse bucket. It could be, for us, we usually use at home the old like orange juice bottles, the plastic ones with like the top, or you can use. I know some people just use like an old water bottle that they had that they don't really use anymore, and you just at the end rinse your feet with it, and then either use a cloth or paper towel to dry your feet off, and then once we're done with that, or yeah, so foot soaking, we put our feet kind of apart. We want to be relaxed, ankle deep water. Definitely want to cover all the foot. Um, if we're feeling like we were very active, we might want to do a cooler water, or if we're feeling that we were very slow, a very emotional day, then we can make it slightly warmer. Obviously, put the feet apart, try and stay relaxed. It's the same thing as a normal meditation. 10 to 15 minutes, palms in the lap. Really, as much as your attention can go for. We can ask for all the imbalances to go into the foot soak, and desire to be in that state of meditation. So it's really very similar to how we meditated today, or how we meditated previous weeks, but our feet are in the water and we're just trying to let the foot soak and the salt water absorb the imbalances. It's really good for the lower three energy centers. And the second and third energy center on the right side are where a lot of heat and thoughts come from throughout the day. I think then once we're done, it's gonna, rinse the feet. We can either have raised ourselves up and finish the meditation with our feet in the water, or you can take your feet out if the foot soak feels heavy, or if you feel like it's absorbed enough or all that it can already, and then we dry our feet off. And if we want to keep meditating after we foot soaked, we can. We don't necessarily have to. Once we dry our feet off, we then take the foot soak and we put it in. We usually use a toilet, and then we don't really. I've had a dedicated foot soaking bowl for I don't even know how many years at this point, but we just don't really use that foot soaking bowl for anything else, just because we're putting our feet in the salt water in it, and we're trying to let the salt water absorb the imbalances that we don't really want to use it for other things. So I'm not sure if everyone will have everything to bring. Like I feel like Karan and Kalavat here, I'm assuming also Bharat will be at the meeting. They will bring things like paper towels or rinse buckets. But if you can bring a cooking ball or something, if you have one that you can comfortably sit in a chair with both feet in, that you don't really mind, they might have extras. But depending on how many people come, don't plan on it. You know, it's a lot of foot cooking bowls that sometimes you need if enough people come. I think Kalavati will talk a little bit more about next week. Of course,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for the beautiful explanations and for this beautiful meditation. So, just a couple of announcements, but before that, why don't we check the vibrations, right? Because we do know that when we start meditating, there is a new sense that we develop, which is we start feeling vibrations in our hands. So, why don't we all take our right hand just a little bit above the head and see what we feel above the head? Because right here is the last energy center through which this motherly energy passes. And that's how she connects us to the all pervading power. So let's just take a moment to see what we feel, please. And let us try it with the left hand as well. All right, so I hope you all will be eager to share your experience of today's meditation with us in just a couple of minutes. Next week, as mentioned before, we are going to meet at the Cranberry Library, and the theme will be inner transformation through meditation. And as Jeremy well mentioned, we are going to try this treatment called as foot soak for the first time next week. We are going to get everything we need, like buckets and towels and bottles and everything, salt as well. You just have to come with a pure heart and with a pure desire to experience this. So next week, remember, there's no online program. We are meeting at the Cranberry Library, and I'm so happy that all of us could join today for the meditation. And I can see here that Tangaraj, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name well, but you did join us for the first time, right?
Yep,
Okay. Would you like to please turn on your video if you feel comfortable, or just share your experience with us? How did you feel today?
yeah, I feel great. Like this is my first time, and I mean, after a long working day, I felt relaxed, and uh, I could feel some positive energy. So it is really great. Uh,
Right. Yeah. It was a pleasure meeting you this Sunday. I do remember you had a strong experience. You could feel vibrations right then at the
yeah,
Diwali Mela. I'm really happy you joined us.
sure,
So we are going to send you all the resources you need over email for you to be able to meditate at home.
sure. Okay.
Questions you can always get back to us over email as well. And do
Oh,
join us every Wednesday. Not next Wednesday though. Next Wednesday you can join us in person at the Cranberry Library. But if that's not possible for you, do join us online in the next weeks.
sure.
All right. Thank you. Karen, how are you doing today?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Very, very good. It went really well. I felt like it was easier to let the thoughts pass, and so I can definitely see that that's making progress there. So it was really great.
That's wonderful. Were you able to feel anything in your hands?
A little bit. In previous, I thought it just felt warm. This time, I think it feels like a little bit of like vibrating energy. I don't know if I'd say cool yet, but not the heat. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's good. You do know what that means, right?
No.
No, okay. Is Jeremy there? Jeremy, would you like to tell us what this means? Like when we feel hot or warmth in our hands, and then over a period of time we start feeling coolness.
Yeah. So when we're feeling the warm or heat or heaviness in our hands, it usually means that there's some imbalance, either in that channel or in that specific energy center. And as we're meditating, the Kundalini is rising and it naturally clears out some of those imbalances. So that's why it's kind of important. And that's why I kind of said I'm challenging to meditate through the week. So that way, as you meditate more, you can hopefully experience it. Not some people, maybe something is so, I don't want to say blocked or imbalanced, that it might not be as easy to feel the vibrations or the get thoughtless, but it's a process to work through, right? Just like the Kundalini is working through those imbalances and trying to clear them up.
Right, right. Yeah, thank you, Jeremy. So, Karen, that's a great news, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, have you tried practicing at home as well?
You know, I tried, but I just didn't have enough time, so I kind of shorted myself. But I did give it a try. I think I will do it again.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Hold on to it, if you find it, well, I do remember that it was challenging for me in the beginning to kind of get to a pattern where I could, regularly meditate, but that was just in the beginning. So as soon as you kind of your desire has to be very strong. That's why we say that, the pure desire that needs to be strong, because after all, this is really for your true self. This is really for your spiritual ascent, and everything else comes with that, right? And we only have to give it 5 minutes, really, not so much, right? So, and you may feel it's like a struggle in the beginning, but that just in the beginning, and slowly the doors open and you'll feel, it's really working out for you very well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Karen.
I hope we see you next week.
Yeah. All right. How are you, Deborah?
Hi, nice to see you. Thank you, Jeremy. I was able to get to a short state of thoughtlessness several times during the meditation, so thanks. I seem to have lost the cool breeze, which I'm a little disappointed about. I am aware that of my hands tingling constantly during the session, and even my head and on the top of my head there was tingling, and so I don't know what that's about, but that was my experience.
Thank you so much. So, you did experience the thoughtless awareness, which is really great, and that itself is, a sign of progress, a great sign of progress. Do not worry if you don't feel, the cool breeze right now. All that matters is that you are sincere and dedicated and you really have the pure desire, and then it will come back to you. It's a process. So right now your kundalini energy is cleansing you. She is working really hard, in your subtle system, and that's why you feel this tingling all over, right? But then
Okay.
that's the phase, all right? Just cling on to it. And as I said, just be sincere towards it. Try it at home as well. I know you have tried it as well.
Yes.
Come back to the programs. This is a great course for all of us to grow together, and you will definitely experience the cool breeze soon again.
Okay, thank you for the encouragement.
Yeah, absolutely, Deborah.
And hi, I'm Jennifer. I just wanted to say something, Deborah. I've been practicing such meditation for about 15 years now. Something that may be helpful is this foot soak that we're talking about. When we feel a lot of tingling in the hands, it's our Kundalini telling us that she's taking care of us, and that she's working hard to bring us into balance. So the foot soak that we described is an incredible, easy, short treatment that can really clear out those tingling that you're feeling very quickly without really any effort. So
Okay, thanks.
just
Great to know.
wanted to encourage you to be curious about that, because maybe it will help you. Absolutely will help you in my experience. So
Okay, thank you.
it's a suggestion.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. All right, so it was great having you all tonight for the meditation. Keep practicing at home, and we're waiting for you next time on the Cranberry Library at 6 p.m. Happy meditating, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye now. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.